Look, he's blushing.
Seriously? Okay.
Welcome to this edition of Link's Perspective. I'm Mike Miller. Thanks for tuning in. My special guest today from TeenWorks, Angela Harris and Maggie Williams. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here today. I know that the weather's a little bit warmer today, so we didn't have to fight through the snow and all that.
Yes.
You guys like the snow? Do you like the wintertime or not?
No.
No.
Maggie's no.
I did at first, and then it just kept coming, and I said, okay, you can stop now. So
Yeah.
I'm done with it this
Ready
year.
for summer.
Ready for summer?
Yes.
Well, I think everybody is. One of the guys that works with us at JFS put a sign out in the yard that says, "Thanks, spring," because it's just people are just so tired of being cold.
I know. It's like cabin fever.
Well, let's talk. There's a couple different programs that you guys are involved with. First, let's talk a little bit about BSSI, which actually is a company that you work for.
Yes. Actually, BSSI, which is Business System Solutions, is a local IT business here in Lancaster. They are actually our management company. So we are housed in the same building as them. They take really good care of us. When TeenWorks started in 2003, Business System Solutions was already in a computer contract with JFS. Diana had spoken to a few people there, and it just kind of seemed like a good fit to then pair up to create a youth program for Fairfield County. When I was interviewing with Diana for my position, this was 8 years ago, I really liked her passion for the program. She saw the vision. She knew she wanted to get involved with this, and it really came across in the interview. And that's what really sold me about becoming a part of TeenWorks.
And there's a good connection between Diane Spurgis and Nick Spurgis, who plays basketball here at JFS as a student here. So when we talk about BSSI, it's a company within itself. And then there is a program that you're involved with that JFS funds through their youth money allocation. And that's, one of them is NKO. Talk a little bit about NKO, and that's what Maggie's involved with also.
NKO is a program that we have been in charge of since 2010. It actually stands for No Kidding Ohio, Straight Talk from Teen Parents. And basically we have peer educators such as Maggie go to local middle and high schools and talk about the actual realities of being a teen parent. Paternity, child support, financial impact, all of the kind of stuff that maybe kids don't think about. They have presented in health classes, parenting classes, family and consumer science classes, but it kind of really is directed to fit in many different disciplines. So.
And I know that we're working through JFS. You not only cover Fairfield County, but you're now into Franklin County. I forget how many high schools it is, 17, 18, something like that?
In the last 4 years, we have been to 27 different schools. And some of those schools have us multiple times per year.
Right.
So say they have a class the first semester, and then they want us back the second semester, then we'll go back, twice that year. We have presented in 7 different counties. The ones right off the top of my head, Pickaway, Franklin, Delaware, Hawking. So we try to stay around Fairfield County, but we have been as far as Delaware.
Maggie, talk a little bit about your involvement and when they first came to you and talked about, would you like to be, a spokesman for? I know you're nervous to be on TV. It's fine. You're okay.
Thanks for the blast. Well, at first I didn't want to do it because I knew we were going to public speak. I was very, very nervous. And then we started doing it, and I'm glad I do it now. I definitely think I touch the kids more because I'm still in high school and I'm their age. Having somebody your own age rather than an older person coming to talk to you about stuff I think it's definitely impacted them more than our other peer educators that are a little bit older.
Now, you go to the Stanbury campus, is that right?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that. Talk about that program.
I am a senior at the CBI program through Stanbury. It's the career-based intervention. We take our main courses, which is math, science, history, and English. And then we take what you call related, and it's life skills class. And after you take all those classes, by usually 11:30, you're out of school and you get to go to work.
So your work is actually NKO then, or do you work
Yes.
some? Okay.
Nope, just NKO.
So how many hours do you work a week, or?
About 18. About 18
Wow.
hours a week.
So when you're not presenting, what are you doing with NKO? Is it one-on-one counseling, or?
We actually go into the TeenWorks lab and do life skills training with Angela.
No, and that's at BSSI, which is here in
Yes.
Lancaster.
Yes.
So how did you get involved in, and I mean, JFS has the money for NKO, but when they first talked about it, I know because you work pretty close with Jenny Gurley, and when it was first presented to you, what were your thoughts about NKO? Because it's been a very successful program.
The first year was actually a pilot program for the state of Ohio. They were modeling a program that had been very successful in Texas and I believe in New York also. So they had someone from the state of Ohio come to Fairfield County and say, we kind of want to try to implement this here. They tried to do it also in Franklin. It was very intriguing to me. I had never heard anything about it. The Texas program seemed to do really well. So I was really excited to get it going. I think our biggest thing is actually getting peer educators to be in the program. And I don't know if it's the fear of public speaking.
Probably.
I think it would have been for me at that age. Plus, they talk about a lot of personal things. And it's really hard to stand up in front of people and talk about your personal life.
Do you remember your first public appearance with us?
Yes, I do. And we were at Grove City High School. And none of us have been to a presentation yet, and there was 4 of us. And we're all a nervous wreck. And one of our peer educators broke his glasses.
Oh, my.
And we all felt sick to our stomachs.
Oh, gee.
And we told the teacher ahead of time that we were really nervous so that she would be aware if we start messing up and acting crazy.
Now, you let the class ask questions, right? You remember the first question that they asked you? Do you remember? Or maybe questions about that you just thought, why did you ask that?
Yeah, there's definitely been some crazy questions, especially middle schools. They don't filter themselves. So they ask some crazy questions. And then we actually have them write down the questions on a note card. So if
Okay.
they're inappropriate or
Right.
if they are something that we are not allowed to talk about, then we can just toss them and then answer the ones.
Who's more attentive, male students or female students? Who pays more attention to you?
I actually think the males do. I definitely think the males do.
And it was really nice last year because we had a male peer educator. We've had a male peer educator for 3 years. This was the first year that we didn't have a male. And I really think the male perspective is great for the boys. But we just didn't have a male sign up this year, so.
Well, if people wanted more information at a website or phone numbers, or how can they get a hold of you or call BSSI? Or?
They can contact me at TeenWorks. We do have a website. It doesn't really talk much about No Kidding. It's teenworks.biz. And the phone number is 740-475-1719. And they'll come directly to me.
Now, in addition to the TeenWorks program, there's a lot of other things going on, but BSSI is almost like, an employment agency for kids. Does that make sense? Is that?
The TeenWorks program is kind of, I guess you could look at it that way.
Okay.
Like we give them the skills,
Right.
and then we place them with
Talk
different
about some of the
businesses.
curriculum that you go through, because I know I've been out there a couple times, and it's pretty in-depth. It's not something you just go over in 5 minutes. I mean, you have classes, and talk a little bit about that.
Normally, what I try to do, and this is for the TeenWorks program, which is separate from No Kidding. We have youth ranging in ages from 14 to 21. There are 2 different sections. One is our lab section, which covers the curriculum that you were talking about. Normally, I have a month set apart for each different thing. Some of the things that we go over are applications, how to properly fill one out, how to dress when you're going to pick up an application, because those are things that a lot of kids don't know, you know. Well, I'm at the mall, I'm here with my friends, we're just all going to go get applications. So that's not really the proper way to do it. So we go over applications, you know, dropping off, picking up, following up, you know, maybe a phone call a couple days later. How do you do that? You know, you don't just get on the phone and say, hey, did you look at my application? You know, so there's procedure, and a lot of kids don't know that. We also do interviewing, what to wear, what not to wear, what to do while you're there, what not to do. We do mock interviews at BSSI, and BSSI is kind enough to lend one of their employees to do the mock interviews for us. So the kids are really comfortable with me, so having someone else do it, you know, makes them a little nervous, and that's okay.
Do you remember your first interview? Do you remember?
Yes, and I was scared, and it was at the YMCA, and it was for custodial work, but then I wasn't able to end up doing it after my interview. They told me that. But at first I walked in, and I was really, really scared, and I was really, really sweaty, and then the guy, Tom, came out, and he was very, very nice, and he made it less awkward
That's fantastic.
after like 10 minutes into it.
Do you remember the first time that you were involved with the classes with them? Was it like, I can't believe I have to do this, or was it, see, this is fun?
It wasn't bad because I kind of
wasn't
knew
bad.
everything.
Yeah.
I knew everything because our school does the same
Uh-huh.
type of thing. So I get I get to hear it twice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I give Angela ideas.
That's good. No,
She does
That's
sometimes.
good. Now, working with employers, is there a list of employers that you deal with, or are there certain employers? I mean, can an employer call you and say, gee, I need a couple kids?
Yes, that would be fantastic. Right now, the current employees that we have are the Fox Family YMCA, and they have always been very, very good to TeenWorks. They understand that this is a learning program for these kids, and so they kind of give them the extra guidance. So the YMCA has always been very, very good to us. Maywood Mission has one of our youth. Habitat for Humanity Restore, they're also another one, very, very guiding with the youth. All Creatures Great and Small, and BSSI uses the youth sometimes for short-term projects. But yeah, if any business has a need, I mean, we have a lot of different kids with a lot of different skills, so.
And are all the kids from the Lancaster area, or are they from outside, like Baltimore, Amanda, or are they all from?
The majority are from the Lancaster area. We do have a couple from Bern Union, but the majority are from Lancaster, yes.
Now, I know in conjunction with NKO and TeenWorks that there's going to be a Teen Expo coming up very shortly in the next couple of weeks. Talk a little bit about that.
The Teen Expo will be on March 6th. It'll be from 4 to 6 p.m. at Ohio University Lancaster. It's in their gymnasium. There will be colleges there, technical schools there, volunteer opportunities for teens. It's all specifically geared toward teens. And some employers. There will be raffle prizes for the teens. There'll be pizza and drinks for the teens. We know all teens like food.
Of course, pizza.
So we've done this in conjunction with Job and Family for a few years now, and we really like it. The kids who who go to it from TeenWorks, and no kidding, they really like it too.
I know that in the past, there's been sometimes 40, 50 employers or booths set up. I've seen 200-300 kids go through. Have you been to one? Have you?
Yes, actually, I went. My first one was one last year, and I got to go around and look at all the colleges and got some pizza and some popcorn. And I actually worked it, and we had our booths open. We had TeenWorks and a No Kidding booth, so it was really cool to let kids know what's going on.
Are the kids open to going through? I mean, I know I talked to Jenny. Jenny Grilly actually coordinates with you guys on it. Are kids going there with the purpose of doing job searching or college searching? Or do they just show up and say, let's eat pizza?
No, I mean, a lot of, they do. And that's one of the way they earn raffle prizes is if an employee from TeenWorks or Job and Family sees them actually going and talking to potential colleges or volunteer organizations, we pass out raffle tickets. So I have never seen anybody kind of just walking around like, where's the food? They always are very engaged.
And a lot of the colleges have like little stuff that they hand out, like
Yeah.
pens and just a bunch of little stuff. So everybody, of course, walks around to at least look at those.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And get
And
them.
that's coming in Thursday, March 6th.
Yes.
At Ohio University Lancaster from 4 to 6. Plenty of parking
Yep.
out there. Again, Ron Cullums and that group have been very special for us, helping us do that and getting all that taken care of. Maggie, at this point, when you think about what are you going to do in your future, are you going to go to college? What are you going to do? What are your plans?
Yes, I actually have all intentions on going to college after I graduate in June. I'm not for sure what college I want to go to yet, but I want to get into the medical field.
Wow.
Yes, I want to be a RN, a registered nurse. It's my goal, but I'm not for sure. I've been looking into colleges and doing some research, and then I do it in the TeenWorks lab and at school. So just got my FAFSA done.
Oh, you have to get those done.
Yes.
I know. Well, I know.
It was so complicated.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. That's good. You think you're going to stay around here or go out of state? Or?
I think for a little while I'm going to stay around here and maybe do like a small degree and maybe even go to the career center.
Sure. Yep.
And then I want to branch out and go further with it.
What, as far as advancement of the program, I know you've been with it 8 years now.
Yes.
Things that you'd like to see changed or maybe branch out into that.
I think the biggest thing for me is our centralized location is here in Lancaster, which is nice because it's a heavily populated area. But I do believe that we miss some of the northern areas, such as Liberty Union, Walnut Township, even Pickerington, because it is a drive, and they do have to come to TeenWorks Lab twice a week, and the majority of our placements are here in Lancaster.
Right.
So that's one thing personally that I would like to see. Maybe, I don't know, have an off-site somewhere. One of the schools let us come in, one day a week, and, just to get those kids involved. Because they're still part of Fairfield County.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Now, do you talk to other kids about it? I mean, have you
About
done-
TeenWorks?
About TeenWorks or NKO or?
Yeah, actually, one of the girls I go to school with, I got her an application last year, and now she was a peer educator. So,
Talk about being a peer educator. I mean, talk about the responsibilities of it. I think that might be, we've thrown it around here a little bit, but let's talk about what it takes to be a peer educator.
well, you have to be a teen parent. You have to want to do it, I think. You have to want to do it. Because if you don't want to do it, you're not going to be good at it, I guess. If you're just going to stand up in front of 30 kids at a time and be miserable, and, and they're just not going to interact with you, and they're not going to get the message across to you or from you, you definitely have to be willing to do it and want to do it. And
I think one theme through all of our peer educators, our successful peer educators, has been they want to help someone that may be in a situation or thinking about, being in a situation. They want to be able to say, I told them my experience, maybe it'll get through at least to one, at least to one. So the successful peer educators that we've had, they've always had that hope that somebody's going to hear this and, make a different decision. So.
When, and either one of you can, when you talk about the program and once people, do you get people to come back and talk to you about it? Do they, kids that were in it, I mean, even maybe in TeenWorks or in an NCO, I mean, different programs, do they come back and talk to you guys?
I have a lot of TeenWorks kids come back. It's very nice. I mean, I have a couple, one's a junior in college now.
Wow.
And she still comes in and probably once every other week or so.
Right.
If they ever have questions, they all have my cell phone number, and they all, will call and say, hey, I have a couple that have moved on and started, families, and they still come back. And I have a group, the first group that I started with, we're all very close. And we were just actually talking the other day about having a reunion. And there was one of the girls, she said, those were the best years of my life. We had so much fun. So, I mean, that stuff is very exciting to hear.
Oh, sure.
So,
That's
yeah.
neat.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then for NKO, when we go to different schools, because I've worked since 2012, October of 2012. And so I've been 2 years of it. And this year when we went back to different schools, some of the kids remembered us, and they would tell us all kinds of crazy stuff about our personal lives that we didn't think that they would remember.
But they were paying attention. to
Yeah,
it.
they were. And it's shocking, because if I was in middle school, I don't think I would remember half of what they remembered.
What's the future hold as far as, what, Angela, I know that you've been there a long time. How did you get involved in this? I mean, I know that when we first came out to talk to you, boy, it's been like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
What drew you to this? What drew you to? I know the NKO program came in as kind of a grant project from the state, but what drew you to BSSI and working with kids?
I actually have my degree in elementary education. And I kind of did that for a while, and I substituted. And then I kind of decided maybe little kids is not my thing. So
you want to work with adults?
So I saw an ad on my WorkNet, and it was just after school, program teens, and I spoke with Diana in the interview, like I said, and the passion that she showed, and when she was explaining, the things that we could do with this program, and it was just, I knew that I was sold. I was sold. So I really love it. I didn't expect that this was where, my life was going to be after going through, elementary education, but I really like it.
So what do you guys do when you're not at TeenWorks or NKO, or what do we do?
Well, I have a
Shovel snow, I know that.
yeah, oh my goodness. Well, I have a 4-year-old little ornery son, so he keeps me busy
What's
all the
his
time. Noah. Yep, he's very ornery, and he's in preschool, so gotta do all the stuff for his preschool. Go and help, volunteer, and I volunteer with different stuff that we do outside of TeenWorks, different little stuff.
What do you do, Angela, in your spare time when you're not doing BSSI and NKO and TeenWorks? And
Yeah. And like she said, and I want to mention this, we do community service activities throughout the year through TeenWorks, and we also incorporate the No Kidding Kids into them as well. We do the bell ringing for the Salvation Army. We've done the Gift of Time for probably 6 years now. We've done Geneva Hills Firelight Fridays, which Maggie volunteered at that
That's
as
fun.
well.
What is that? I'm not familiar
It
with that.
is, I believe, October.
Yeah.
It's in October, and they just kind of open up in the evenings on Fridays, every Friday in October, and they have activities for kids. It is October because they have pumpkin.
Yeah.
They have a pumpkin
And then they have
area.
the hay rides.
And they
Wow.
have a hayride in the dark, which is kind of cool. So we just went and kind of helped out with the stations and things. So that was fun. I too have ornery children. I have a 16-year-old and a 10-year-old, and they pretty much keep me on my toes. But when I have time to myself, I like to read. I'm a big reader, so.
Anything in particular? Anything that?
I kind of like a little bit of everything, but Stephen King is good.
Oh.
James Patterson is good. Yeah.
Well, it's we just have a few minutes left for the show today. Anything that you'd like to tell kids about before we sign off? Anything that, just in general about life itself?
Stay cool, stay in school.
That was a good one.
I like it. That's good. That is
Definitely.
fantastic.
Look into the TeenWorks program. I'd say that one.
And we are always accepting applications. Sometimes we do have a waiting list. Normally it goes fairly quickly. So you can contact us at TeenWorks.
And one more time, phone number, website, what they do?
The website is www.teenworks.biz, and the phone number is 740-475-1719.
Well, fantastic. And the Teen Expo is coming up at OUL on March 6th from 4 to 6 in the
Yes.
evening. Is that casual dress? I think we
Yeah.
should probably, I don't want somebody showing up in a suit or is that, I don't, I mean, just what,
Normally, the kids come straight from school. So anything that's proper for you to wear to school should be okay for you to wear there.
Yeah.
oh, you're talking about the curriculum and stuff through NKO and TeenWorks, and we were talking earlier off air about classes for changing oil and for addressing envelopes and things like
Yeah.
that. Do they do any of that? So,
We do envelopes.
that's a private joke, folks.
We do envelopes. We don't do the changing of the oil.
Well, again, Angela Harris, Maggie Williams, we appreciate you guys coming in from BSSI, two programs, NKO, No Kidding Ohio, and TeenWorks. Again, we do appreciate you guys coming in. Stay warm on your way out, although it's probably, 20 degrees out there today?
I think it was 33.
33 and it's supposed to be 60.
It's a heat wave.
Supposed to be 60.
Well, once again, we do appreciate you coming in.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Lancaster Perspective. I'm Mike Miller, and remember, until we meet again, let's make a difference.
Hi, I'm Sean Johnson of the 2008 U.S. Gymnastics team. I'm here with our friends from VeggieTales to say, be a player, get up and play an hour a day.
Besides gymnastics, how do you stay in great shape, Sean?
I love to dance and rollerblade.
Cool.
You don't have to be an Olympian to be a player. Just do the things you already love to do, like jump rope, ride a bike, or even play freeze tag.
Now that's something to live for.
Well done! For fun ways to get healthy, visit www.smallstep.gov.